Welcome to the Elyria City Schools District Board of Education meeting for June 2nd, 2021. I now call this meeting to order. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Ms. Karstafen.
Here.
Mr. Bax.
Here.
Mr. Elick.
Here.
Mr. Gebhardt.
Here.
And Mrs. Seguin.
Here.
Thank you. We'll now give the treasurer a moment to upload the flag. And then I will ask if everyone would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Please join me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Treasurer. At this time, we will have introductions. I would like to introduce my fellow board members. We have Board Member Greg Elick present this evening. We have Board Member Mike Gebhardt, Board Member Elaine Seguin, and Vice President Jim Bex. And I am Annie Karstafen, your president. We have our Superintendent, Ann Sloss, and we have our Treasurer, Joy Clickinshaw. Thank you. At this time, do we have any board recognition tonight?
No, we don't.
Okay, and no presentation and no visitors comment. So we will move on to board member discussion. Are there any board members that have anything to bring forward to us tonight? No?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Okay. Item F is the approval of the minutes. The minutes have been posted and hopefully you've had an opportunity to review them. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the Board of Education's record of proceedings for the meeting of May 19th, 2021 as detailed in enclosure F1. May I please have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by Elaine. May I please have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bax. Are there any questions? No questions? Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Seguin.
Aye.
Mr. Bax.
Yes.
Mr. Elick.
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt.
Aye.
And Ms. Karstafen.
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. G is the treasurer's action items.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're
I have
welcome.
one item, and it's just to approve the attached list of purchase orders.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve the treasurer's actions as presented?
So moved. Motion.
Okay, was that by Mr. Gebhardt?
Yes.
Okay, and the second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Elick. Are there any questions? No questions? Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt.
Aye.
Mr. Elick.
Aye.
Mr. Bax.
Yes.
Mrs. Seguin.
Aye.
And Ms. Karstafen.
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
I do not have anything this evening, but I would like to continue on with the facility construction.
Thank you.
My first item is to authorize the president and the treasurer to execute and deliver the construction management at risk agreement for AECom in connection with the Westwood and Crestwood renovations as detailed in enclosure J1. And my second item is for the Elyria City School District Treasurer, myself, I'm recommending the approval of the GMP to the to the construction manager at risk agreement with AECom for the new electrical gear during the renovation of the Westwood School as detailed in enclosure J2.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve the OFCC items as presented?
So
Move to
moved.
approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Elick. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Jim Bax. Are there any questions on either?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
On the, I don't know if this is for Jim or Ann or who can answer this, but I did want to inquire about for the Westwood, for the construction management at risk agreement. Is this going to be a little bit different with the risks that AECOM is taking compared to the old at-risk agreements that the state was involved in? It didn't seem like they were really taking any risk. Is this any different than what we've entered in with them before?
It actually is no different, and there is risk. It's just not how you would perceive it. You know, if they would go over, there's always contingencies that cover their risk is what happens. And so then it feels like there is no risk to the construction manager. However, if they would go over those contingencies, then they are at risk.
Okay, so this is the same as the ones we had with the new
Yes.
building. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? No questions. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Elick,
Aye.
Mr. Bax,
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt,
Aye.
Mrs. Seguin,
Aye.
and Ms. Karstafen.
Aye. Thank you, Madam Treasurer. At this time, we'll move on to K, which is superintendent action items.
Thank you, Madam President. The first one is to approve the agreement with the Mental Health Addiction and Recovery Services. This is an annual, the next couple are annual contracts. Number two is the Suburban School Transportation Company to approve their contract. Also to approve the contract with the Lorain County Board of Developmental Disabilities and our multi-agreement with the Educational Service Center. We also would like to approve the payment of the following stipends. Chantel Jackson, one of our social workers, will be handling some training over the summer for us. Also the stipends through the ESSER grant for 2 more people doing some extended learning at Murray Ridge and also Camp Imagine. And that concludes my action items.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. May I please have a motion to approve the items recommended by the superintendent as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Gebhardt. May I please have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Bax. Are there any questions or comments? Being none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt,
Aye.
Mr. Bax,
Yes.
Mr. Elick,
Aye.
Mrs. Seguin,
Abstain.
and Ms. Karstafen.
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. Personnel actions items recommended by the superintendent.
Thank you. First of all, to approve the resignation of the certified administrator, Mr. Huser, Chad Huser. As we know, he's leaving us for, he was able to get a principal's job in another district. He was here for 19 years as teacher and administrator. So we wish him well and we will definitely miss him. Next, to approve the resignation of a certified staff member as below. Sue Morrison, she's resigning, but she's retiring. She didn't have enough years to retire, so she was here for 13 years. She's one of our transition coordinators at Elyria High. Next, to approve the retirement of certified staff. First of all, Connie Drummer, who has been a kindergarten teacher and title teacher over at Hamilton, 21 years. She was actually my paraprofessional when I was teaching at Cascade, so Connie's been around for quite some time, 21 years. And Andrew Maddie, an intervention specialist at the high school that's been here for 15 years. Also, to approve the unpaid leave of absence for the following certified staff. To approve the appointment of the following certified staff. There should be a couple more here. The state changed over their software, and I can't believe they did it in the middle of our hiring time, but for fingerprinting. So we have more, but we're just waiting on fingerprinting because it was delayed a week due to it being shut down. So we have 3 newer teachers here that are coming. We wish them, or we're excited to have them, and I think we have some wonderful young candidates. Also to approve the athletic supplemental contracts as listed below. To approve the appointment of another student worker for the Performing Arts Center over summer for the rentals. Also to approve the stipend for, these are a few more of the extended learning. These are some of the high school teachers that will be doing it through July 2nd. And then we have a resignation that we need to approve. I believe, yes. I'm sorry, to approve the resignation of the following classified staff, to approve the unpaid leave of absence of the following classified staff. And this is the one I told you, Courtney Capers, she is actually doing her student teaching. She used to be the building support associate at McKinley. And then to approve the appointment of the following classified staff. The next one, number 12, to approve a $2 per hour stipend in addition to their hourly rate to be paid from food service and ESSER dollars for each food service employee that's working the summer extended hours as set in the guidelines as listed below in enclosure M12. To approve the following classified staff as detailed below for summer extended learning. These are the paraprofessionals and personal attendants that will be working our extended learning. And that concludes my personnel action items.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. May I please have a motion to approve the personnel items recommended by the superintendent as presented?
So
So
moved.
moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Seguin. May I please have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Elliott. Are there any questions or comments?
I have a
Being
question.
none- Yes, go right ahead.
I noticed that we have Mr. Wall for 7th grade football coach. So are we, 7th grade is all together, correct? One team
believe
for
it.
all the
Yes,
schools?
I believe they are going to do that again, but it really depends on numbers. But that is what we had this year.
Is the 8th grade also that way, or is the 8th grade separate?
This past year, we had all both the 8th and the 7th together. We're hoping that we have some things in the works to try and expand our middle school athletics, and we're waiting to see how that pans out.
And do we anticipate any changes with the joining the new conference? Will that draw more kids out, or are there any thoughts on that?
I'm hoping. I really do think that that is going to be big. We are also, we've been talking a little bit, several of us, at looking at some ideas that we've had to really start to work on the youth and trying to get more students involved in extracurriculars. We're actually talking to, looking at strength and conditioning work and things of that nature, and also the ability for some of our students to get some extra skills, shall we say. So I know that I can give you an example at girls soccer, women's soccer. They're actually really hitting the middle schools hard this year, and they've gotten quite a few out. It really helps that our new assistant coach is a new middle school teacher. But they're running some open gyms, for lack of a better word, now to try and promote these athletics within the younger grades. So we had some ideas, and then COVID hit, and we lost the momentum, but we are really trying to work on getting the momentum back and really reaching the younger students.
Well, it certainly is an exciting time joining the new conference, so really looking forward to it.
Yes.
And just because we were talking about athletics, I had a parent ask me, and I kind of went and compared them with a few schools, but they said they felt that our athletic website was not comparable to other schools. And they had said, you know what, maybe some parents look at those when they're deciding what school they want to go to, but we don't have the pictures up. We don't have the rosters up. I know we put on our Facebook and so forth when people are playing, but it isn't very impressive for a school as big as ours.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Amy Higgins is in the midst. It's actually all tied together. Our new messaging system and new website is in the middle of being recreated. So
Okay.
all of that should change by the beginning of next year. That is a project that was started about 2 months ago. And the messaging system actually is going to test next week. And then the website will work through the summer to get that up and rolling. But
Okay, because I didn't even
definitely-
realize that. I thought we had everything on ours, and I said, no, we have all the pictures and everything, and they said, no, we don't. And so I went on and we didn't. Of the teams.
So that is being worked on right now to update.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Amy's on, so she hears that also, but I will
Well, I
make
didn't
sure
even know.
that's all.
Sorry, Amy, I didn't know who's
Yeah,
doing
no,
that, I didn't
that's
know what
okay.
area it falls under.
Right. We, we have more capabilities with this new website
Okay.
creator, I guess, I think that's what it's called. But Amy has a lot of pictures and things that she's getting on, and I think it'll be much better than what we
Okay.
have right
'Cause I
now.
know we do like a lot on Twitter and stuff. Like we're always updating
Yep.
the Twitter for athletics. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
You're welcome.
Okay, if not, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mrs. Segwin,
Aye.
Mr. Elick,
Aye.
Mr. Bax,
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt,
Abstain.
and Ms. Karstafen.
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. Is there a superintendent's report tonight?
Yes, just a few announcements, really, Madam President. First of all, this Thursday, which is tomorrow, I'm a day behind also, Joy, are the senior awards at 6:30 at the Performing Arts Center. Also, then next week, or this Friday, I'm sorry, is the Pioneer Challenge. We kind of got rained out last Friday. So this Friday will be the Pioneer Challenge, which is just our form of the Special Olympics. Each district's doing their own thing since it got canceled. And that will be from 9:30 to 1:30 out at the stadium if you'd like to come watch. Also, obviously graduation on the 8th at 7 p.m. And I think it is not calling for rain right now, but it is calling for 88 degrees. So it will be a toasty one.
Wow.
It always is. So be prepared. And then the last day of students is the 14th. So we're winding down, and a lot of really cool things going on. So please feel free to drop in on any of them.
Okay, thank you. P is Board of Education, and I believe we have the first reading of a few policies here. And I guess, do I need a motion? Yeah. May I have a motion to approve the Board of Education items as presented, and it's the policies?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Elick. Do we have a second?
Second.
That was, for the record, that was Mr. Gebhardt.
Oh, sorry.
But I'll make the
Mr.
second.
Okay, sorry. Motion by Mr. Gebhardt and second by Mr. Elick. Okay, thank you. For questions, I would like to see if Mr. Bax would have any information that he would like to give us.
Sure. There's actually 4 policies that we're looking at. They're basically updates. The first policy is on with regard to bonding of not only the board members, but the treasurer and any other district personnel who would be handling district funds. Second one is a policy update on food services, specifically regarding free and reduced lunch. or those services. Third one is has to do with the innovative or experimental education program. If we offer that, it is an optional policy. We do not have to have this, but it's recommended. It's recommended that we install this policy in our policy manual, simply because innovative, or let's say, I don't necessarily like the word experimental education, but non-standard, I'll put it that way, could very well, we could very well be doing that as education programs expand. And lastly, the fourth policy has to do with adult education, what the eligibility is, as well as adults pursuing a high school diploma. And that is, we already have that policy, but this is an update.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? If not, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Ms. Karstafen?
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. And Q is an executive session. At this time, I would entertain a motion to request an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official as authorized under Ohio Revised Code Section 121.2. May I please have a motion?
Move to go to executive session.
I'll
Thank
second it.
And second by Mr. Elick. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Ms. Karstafen?
Aye, thank you.
And I've got one person in the waiting room, so we need to wait for them to get in. Okay, now we can move on.
Okay, we're back into regular session. Is there anything further to come before this board this evening? Okay, not being anything more, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion moved to adjourn.
All righty, Mr. Elick, motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second
I
by
like that
Mr.
hand.
Gebhardt. All righty. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Ms. Karstafen?
Aye, thank you. You are adjourned. Thank you.